Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Propagandacast with me, Imperial Dane, your host, and today I have for you a 1 versus 1 on Sturzdorf. Yes, indeed, we will be having a trip to Sturzdorf no more longer, at least for a brief while again. Sturzdorf, of course, having a lot of dead angles, sort of things where your opponent can creep up on you. Of course, lots of buildings, all the curious stuff, in fact. Rather dominating in the center, of course, creating some very nasty blind angles and whatnot, making it a lot harder for some players at least to sort of create a defense if you're sort of having to rely on support weapons, which of course the Wehrmacht can have a bit of a spot of trouble right there. The Americans, on the other hand, if they do rely a lot on riflemen, may be able to get off a nice advantage there, and they are setting up barracks already. So let us in fact get right to it. Oh wait, let's actually introduce the players. In the southern corner we do have Nazi killing machine. Something tells me this is an American. Just a guess, don't ask me how. Might be the Nazi, might be the lack of a G. Might be the machine, who knows. Could be the entire combination. But here he is, we'll just refer to him as NKM. NKM of the 706th Bodenständige Grenadier Division. Static Fortress Division, opposing Callplu of the 25th Infantry Division, and let us get right to it. Hello. I think that sounds a bit better. And pioneers arriving up there, my quarters going up, barracks still going up. Pioneers heading towards the north, heading past these old, I don't know, storage depots, which have been rather bombed into submission here in the ruins. Yes. And we are seeing the engineers heading towards the west in a rather excessive fashion. No one actually going towards the east as of yet to seize all of these vast resources, including this high fuel point. Quite interesting. Instead, they're all heading towards this, which is the usual hotspot of the map, actually, since it's rather the shortest point between the two bases, but at the same time to sort of be heading all towards it. That just seems a bit off to me. Grenadiers on the way. We'll probably see some riflemen from the barracks. No, wait, looks like someone is actually heading towards these by now. That's a slight improvement. Grenadiers heading towards the center. Riflemen are in fact heading towards the east as well, not heading towards the center actually, or sort of the left center. Interesting. Grenadiers are advancing. What shall their plans be? Laying down some barbed wire, apparently. There we go, some engineers heading in from the north. Will the Grenadiers spot them, or will they not care? Engineers are in fact running. Not a bad idea to actually get running in such situations. They won't really have much of a chance against the Grenadiers anyway. So a bit of barbed wire denying enemy heavy cover, and apparently he's doing it again to sort of deny any access through this area, unless of course someone with a pair of wire cutters actually appear, in which case it's not going to do much. But it's still an improvement. Second Grenadier team ready. Now Americans are heavily focusing on the east. Americans taking up as many fuel points as they can. Wehrmacht sort of fortifying this area, at least making it a lot harder to actually take. Now Grenadiers are heading eastwards as well. Everybody's going east. No, some of the Grenadiers apparently have better things to do. All quiet so far. Not a single shot fired actually. But there we go, first shots fired from the Grenadiers, opening up on the riflemen. Riflemen pulls back towards these, while the other Grenadiers are laying down some more, but why? Not entirely sure why. Riflemen get into the building. Oh dear, Grenadiers need to get some cover, and those other Grenadiers need to support them. This is actually not a bad spot. What's that? Only 2 windows. And there we go, other Grenadiers moving in to support. Pioneers taking the central victory point, Americans taking the eastern fuel point. 1 rifleman down. But again, nice choice of windows to actually attack from, choosing the one with the least riflemen in them. There we go, doing quite a bit of damage to the riflemen inside. 1 Grenadier down. 2 riflemen down rather swiftly there. Rest making a run for it. Pioneers sort of fighting off some riflemen. That's not going to end up well. Riflemen moving in from the north. A sniper and an MG42 on the way. And Pioneers coming under fire from Riflemen, but Volksgrenadiers moving in to put a stop to that. Riflemen are out in the open, taking quite a bit of fire from the Volksgrenadiers. Riflemen doing their best to get close to cover, but one goes down and the rest retreat, rather realizing this is city. Medic station going up already this early on. This is actually not a bad move. Could certainly help with the losses in the longer run, unless the Wehrmacht actually finds it and knocks it out. Sniper has arrived on the field. Engineers sort of sneaking about. Volksgrenadiers moving in to take territory and grab the fuel for themselves. Someone's in there. Rifleman for some reason. Not sure why. Not sure why at all. Engineers have snuck past lines and are beginning to take back a high munitions point from the Wehrmacht, while the Americans are now pushing forwards in the west. MG42, they're moving in to put a watch over this area. Will be interesting to see. In fact, large force of American riflemen, while the entire Wehrmacht is in the east. Oh dear, this could end up badly. Sniper gets a shot on an engineer, only one left. MG42 setting up right here, getting out down on the engineers. Further Volksgrenadiers advancing. This is a rather heavy tier 1 investment, and there we go, BARs at the same time, so not a bad one. Although certainly a bit of a gamble. Riflemen getting gunned down. MG42, the forced retreat, getting flanked by these riflemen, having approached from the wrong angle, are going to be suffering greatly, but no suppressive fire on the Volksgrenadiers will force them to retreat. Sniper moving in, and apparently some of the Volksgrenadiers from the east will also be moving ahead as well. Riflemen getting in as well more, in fact. Sniper taking out a few, but the sniper needs to be careful. He does not want to be out in the open with BARs. There we go, retreating. Volksgrenadiers dealing with riflemen in the north as well, delaying their response to the west, while the Americans are doing their best to sort of cut off points.
We're losing territory.
Medics moving in as usual to pick up some wounded riflemen. Small engagement here in the center, and looks like we're having something here as well. Riflemen trying to take this fuel point away from the Wehrmacht, and getting gunned down by the MG42, suppressed, and another down. Riflemen here retreating. Volksgrenadiers advancing to take that point back, and same here. Kampfkraft center is up, and Riflemen getting gunned down on the retreat. Only one man left. Engineers taking this munitions point. My goodness. In fact, the Wehrmacht has lost all control with territory except their home territory, which is usually bad. In fact, it's only a small victory for the Americans if they know how to take advantage of it. Although, interestingly enough, no mines from the Americans or the Wehrmacht, despite at least the Wehrmacht having quite a bit of munitions. Sniper taking out an engineer, and another rifleman goes down. Another one bites the dust. And infantry veterancy 1 is up. Skirmish phase being researched. And there we go. Connection has been re-established with all of the Wehrmacht territories. The 706th is making slight progress once more. All a bit quiet once more as the 25th is sort of messing about, while the 706th is a bit more calm. And we are seeing a supply yard going up, so we'll probably be seeing an M8, or perhaps some tanks if he's really bold. Ah, bloody headset. Riflemen heading towards the east once more, sort of constantly shifting where they will be attacking, striking where the Wehrmacht is weakest, because Mr. NKM sort of has a tendency of rather heavily focusing his forces in one side, then managing to neglect the rest. And a mine goes off, killing one rifleman, suppressing the rest. Volksgrenadiers coming under fire from riflemen, and these Volksgrenadiers need to get out of there. And MP4s have been equipped, sending them on a slightly longer trip. Snipers standing about. All a bit quiet once more. Rifleman goes down. Volkswagen is advancing, opening up with the MP40s. There we go. Rifleman retreating, running away. Hooray. Volkswagen is advancing more in larger forces now. And defensive doctrine has been chosen, meaning of course they do rather fit with the whole static division bit. Although certainly not. Well, never mind that. Opening up here, advancing. MP40s leading from the front while the rifles are behind. This is good. Very good. One rifleman goes down. Americans taking the fuel away though. And one Volkswagen team has in fact pulled away. And a grenade being dropped. Two in fact. Only one Volkswagen really takes the grenades to the fore and gets flung away, but a bit unfortunate there. But rather heavily infantry investment. Bunker up. Will probably be a medic bunker, in particular since there is defensive doctrine on the way. This of course means they can become tougher. And we are seeing the infantry company going up for the Americans as they were trying to lay down some mines. Rifleman team lost on the retreat. Mines getting hit. Sniper getting fired upon. Volkswagen moving in to try and put a stop to that. Though they should be careful advancing right into automatic fire. The sniper retreats. Will he make it? Will he make it? Apparently he will. And the Volkswagen are simply getting outgunned and are forced to retreat. Medics pulling back the wounded might mean a fully reconstituted rifleman team. MG42s defending this area rather heavily. Creek barracks going up. Americans once more securing the east further and further. And there we go, riflemen reconstituted. And then they hit a mine, instantly taking a huge hit to their health and losing one man. Great start for them. Oh, a bit quiet, and there we go, advancement in the east. Volkswagen with a bit of a mix of weapons advancing. Will the riflemen put a stop to this? Will they? No, apparently they're all running away. There we go, a bit of firing once more. Volkswagen is moving in. Guns blazing. Riflemen taking some losses, but the Volkswagen is out in the open. There we go, one Volkswagen down. Pulling away, another goes down. Another heavy losses for one team. Being behind only the 5 with the MP40s. Although then more are moving in to support, and the sniper. There we go.
Losing a sector.
Riflemen taking increased losses. There we go. German medics now moving in. American infantry taking increased losses. They can't really afford to just sit in there. They need to charge in and perhaps do something, or at least suppress those MP40 equipped Volkswagen before moving in. Riflemen flanking in from the west. MP40 equipped Volkswagen is taking extreme losses. Oh dear, being lost. Flamethrowers charging in, and MP40 equipped Volkswagen team is lost. The western flank has collapsed. The Americans are charging forwards in a grand manner. And will they actually be bothering to lay down mines? This could be a good thing. No? Apparently not. That does seem to be Callplu's major issue so far. Callplu now being looked at. Supply are getting upgraded. 5 rifleman teams and 1 engineer team. There we go. Supply yard upgrade number 1. Decreases upkeep and also increases rate of experience being gained. German counter-attack amassing. The remaining Volkswagen is a sniper, and now Grenadiers arriving on the field, the slightly more veteran bits of the 706th. Engineer goes down to sniper fire. Mines being laid down. This is good, actually. Very good, in fact. Medic bunker still sort of medic-y. Fresh mines being laid down when the first one's hit. Riflemen firing away, although they might want to consider getting into a bit of cover. There we go, one getting sniped. German infantry force advancing through the woods. The light cover right there, certainly not a bad way to approach things, instead of right out in the middle of the road. As this actually provides them with some cover. And there we go, hitting a mine. Suppressed. Several men not looking too good, but they are continuing their advance, and the Americans could be hitting hard now if they so decide. And hitting another mine. First grenade team almost wiped out and retreating. Americans advancing. A grenade could be doing quite a bit here. Taking heavy losses because they are standing out in the open, and grenades are being thrown at the Americans. Americans taking extreme losses. Quite unfortunate. German medics moving in. American medics will probably also be moving in as well. And the German forces continue their advance. Medics getting sniped as well, though. Further riflemen moving in, opening up. Grenadiers a bit out in the open, but their elite armor due to Veteran 22 will protect them a bit against small arms. But the riflemen are moving past them, hoping to get the sniper apparently, and then they're of course taking heavy losses, meaning they can't really deal with the rest. But there we go, Volksgrenadiers catching on fire in an extreme number. Almost getting knocked out in the process, but the engineers are getting gunned down. Grenadiers though taking heavy losses themselves. Oh dear. That was not a kind exchange to the other side, though. I think the Wehrmacht got a bit away better with that, since of course they managed to beat the snot out of a lot more Americans before that, who are now reinforcing, and supply yard upgrade number 2 is on the way actually. Still no vehicles or anything. A pack watching the west, but so far most of the fighting has in fact been in the east. But NKM is not falling for that, sort of expecting anything to sort of happen in the east, in the west, if he suddenly sees those machine guns in the east. Grenadiers advancing.
Operation posts report.
So 2 grenadier teams, and no, 3 grenadier teams and 2 false grenadier teams. That's an awful lot of infantry firepower. Grenadiers coming under fire from the BAR equipped riflemen. Grenades being flung. No one lost. Oh, there's a bit of wounds, and a machine gun emplacement actually going up. Interesting move. Sniper still firing away. Nothing has really been done. And riflemen advancing through the east. Charging ahead. No one actually taking up in a sort of close position. Sniper forced retreat. Grenadiers also. Other grenadier team being suppressed by the machine gun emplacement. German medics advancing right into the midst of the riflemen, trying to pick up some wounded grenadiers. MG42 setting up to cover, suppressing all those riflemen. And a large German force advances once more. Artillery being prepared. Oh dear, that could end up... Yeah, there we go. Right down, and they are all retreating. A few troops are in fact lost right there in one devastating hit. Medics though making the run through, not running away. And they apparently managed to survive it all. Most heroically. And another machine gun emplacement going up. Not a bad idea as such. And certainly not when the Wehrmacht is such heavily focused on infantry. But now getting a mortar. Mines being laid down. He's certainly expecting to be attacked, but at the same time though he could certainly do with pushing onwards as well. And a tree center as well. Riflemen certainly could do with a bit of reinforcement there. Others are moving out. And now tank traps being laid down, apparently expecting some sort of armored advance, although I can't really help but think he perhaps should still be trying to sort of push on, rather than end up feeling the brunt of this huge infantry force. The 706th really pushing in everything they can. There we go, standing about, and they have to be careful while doing that. They will be easier targets, and instead they end up in a huge retreat. While German mortar rounds go down on the machine gun emplacement, riflemen laying down mines. Riflemen inside the building, opening a way on this bunker, but it's not going to be doing much. They need a mortar for that. And Grenadiers hitting a mine. Riflemen inside this building are rather exposed. They might want to retreat. And by retreat, I mean actually retreat. Another rifleman team getting stopped by the MG42. Grenadiers continue to hit mines, taking increased losses as they keep hitting more and more. And these chaps need to get out there as well. Now mines being set off by mortar rounds. Medics pulling in the wounded. Grenadiers retreating from the east due to the severity of the mining. Another mine goes off.
At this rate, we'll be taking Berlin by Christmas.
And now the forces are advancing, but hit another mine rather nastily. Volkswagen is getting equipped with MP40s, riflemen reconstituted. Engineers, more engineers in fact for some reason. Still not a single vehicle or armored anything. The closest thing we have is actually a pack. Interesting, and instead they riflemen are moving away, not defending their medic station. Oh dear, medic station taking quite a bit of fire. This could actually end up very badly. They need to do something, perhaps a grenade. Yes, there we go, flying over the train. Killing a few Volksgrenadiers, further rifle. No engineers are advancing, and medic station lost. That was quite unfortunate. Where are the rest of the Americans? What are they doing? Apparently they're sneaking through in the east, flanking about this MG42. Or not. A bit unclear as to what is going on. We can't really hit from there. There we go, veterans, the two riflemen which are in fact resistant to suppression, running right past the MG42, forcing it to retreat. And the rifleman team right there was lost in a rather unfortunate manner. Charging ahead, MG42 setting up and suppressing the riflemen. Veterans, one in fact makes it much more lethal. Grenade being dropped, while these riflemen need to get out there. There we go, MG42 team almost cleared out. Rifleman sniper in fact continues to snipe away. 32 kills, my goodness. There's been absolutely nothing to stop him. And apparently the entire force here is collapsing. MG42 left behind. Grenadiers doing their best. Riflemen sort of firing away, but they're realizing they have to get out of there since they can't do much. German medics pulling in the wounded. Riflemen taking heavy losses. Further riflemen moving in from the south. Grenadiers picking up a BAR. Grenades being flung. And the riflemen hitting the mines as they try to reinforce. Grenadier team reinforcing this return to NKM. MG42 seized. Another mine hit. Oh dear. But the riflemen apparently managed to make a run for it, having done quite a bit of damage to the German forces. At the same time though, they've taken quite drastic losses as well. And we are seeing a howitzer up now as well. In fact, this could be the equalizer. At least one could assume so. There we go, firing away. Where shall it hit? Right at these Grenadiers, killing 3 outright. And another few losses for the Wehrmacht. Getting out of the arc of fire. Good show there. Medic bunker on quite a bit of fire, and the mortar moves in. Oh dear. That was quite unfortunate. Heading a mine right there, running straight into these veterans, the 3 riflemen. Goodness gracious. Bunker has taken quite a bit of fire. So far most of the victory points are in the hands of the Americans. And they are certainly holding on to them now with some artillery as well. That's certainly going to prove dangerous for the Wehrmacht. At least 706th. Fresh mines being laid down. In fact, we are really seeing quite a bit of mining going on from both sides. That's not bad at all. And of course, we do know that Callplu isn't completely lost, because he's actually not attacking from the strongest point, but actually trying to sort of get in from the weak points and sort of unhinge the strong point. Which again is not a bad idea, and he's sort of just using the... Well, if that mine went off previously, another mine's certainly going to do quite well there, and sort of then keeping on mining. Good show there. German assault moving in, lots of Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers. A few Panzerschrecks and BARs. Artillery once more going off. Where though? Once more against the medic bunker, and the German advance once more rolls into mines. And apparently a minesweeper doesn't seem to be in his dictionary since he's just lost the Grenadier team. And there we go, once all the mines have gone off, the American counterattack sends in. BARs blazing, flamethrowers, everything. And now of course they can't advance quite steadily. Not a bad defensive tactic, although I can't help but feel he really needs to be doing something more with his resources than just rely on riflemen. Now laying down lots of tank traps again, sort of expecting something armored, and a panzer command is in fact going up. Interesting. Medic bunker almost down. Although again I can't help but feel he perhaps should be trying to push through a bit here and there as well, and he needs to get something on his own to rather hold back the armored advances rather than just relying on tank traps. Tank traps, just like barbed wire, should be there to supplement, not do the work. And of course as of Panther appears, they're not going to be doing much. But there we go, Ostwind on the way, no huge surprise there.
Sniper is ready for the hunt.
Another Grenadier team ready. That means 4 Grenadier teams and 2 Volksgrenadier teams. That's certainly quite a bit. No wait, there we go. Replacement medic station. Grenadiers taking quite a bit of fire. Grenades being flung at this huge clump of American riflemen. And they are retreating, rather realizing what sort of silly situation they got themselves in. More mines being laid down, but really he needs to do something. What is his resource situation? He could certainly be affording with all of that to actually get, oh I don't know, a tank depot and then perhaps a Sherman. That would really do the trick. And Volksgren is advancing in the west. And Howard's artillery opening up. Volksgren is getting gunned down. Blasted to bits as well. That was an awfully close artillery barrage right there. Awfully close to the sniper. Ostwind flak panzer arriving, advancing, firing away at what it can. Riflemen rather exposed. Do they have sticky bombs? Veterans with 3 sticky bombs can be quite dangerous. There we go, in fact. Retreating, and this Ostwind will probably take quite a bit of damage. There we go, almost down to half health due to 1 Veteran C3 sticky bomb. Grenadiers huddling out here, and they would certainly be a nice target for artillery. Still, I think the American commander again needs to get some armor. That could actually prove to be his foil if he doesn't really move towards that and actually get something more aggressive, because rather he's been having the advantage to do that, I suspect, for quite some time, but he hasn't really gotten around to it. Ostwind advancing, opening up on the machine gun emplacement. Riflemen moving ahead in a steady, large force. And the Pioneers are pinned, still repairing though, interestingly enough. And looks like the Howitzers are sitting up for a barrage. There we go. Firing a bit too far though. And there we go, direct hit on the Ostwind. Grenadiers continuing to hit mines. And the main gun destroyed on the Ostwind. But it makes it out that Grenadier team is lost to the mines. My goodness, still no minesweeper. That's really unfortunate. He really ought to have been investing in that, since he's of course continuing to see mines being used against him. And another mine. My goodness, he's just not learning. And Riflemen advancing in large numbers, forcing all of the Grenadiers to make a run for it, but a Panzer IV has arrived to sort of level the playing field. And Rangers getting on the field, firing away, but still no armor at all. Could be that he is suffering from Panzer Shrek. Rangers not advancing, hoping to get off a few more good shots on that Panzer IV with the bazookas. Apparently no luck. The Ostwind also gets away, and they're suppressed and forced to run away. The Americans continuing to lay down tank traps instead of trying to take some of those points. Come on. Do more than just lay down tank traps in such artillery-nice numbers. And still nothing else though from the American. I can't help but feel something's going wrong with him. Panzer IV without veterancy, but it is getting repaired at least. There we go. Finally a minesweeper after 28 minutes. Rangers once more advancing. Will artillery be there to sort of support? And they are getting suppressed by the MG42, which he seems to be sort of neglecting. There we go, how it's opening up. And a direct hit on the... No, not direct hit. Close. Certainly not a bad area to bombard since the medic bunker was also nearby. But apparently neither is actually hit. That's a bit unfortunate. Medic is killed though. That seems to have been the only thing actually hit. One medic.
Field repairs complete.
Quite a force for the 706th. Tanks from the 2nd Panzer Division sort of supporting. There we go, huge force advancing through the center. Blazing down anything they can. And a rocket barrage going in. And the American rather realistically getting the devil out of there. Though taking some losses from it. Heavy losses, in fact. I do believe that was a 7 men going down there. Medics quickly moving in, or at least one medic to pick up the only survivor of this barrage. And the German Grenadiers are quickly counter-attacking, trying to take the central victory point since there are no machine gun emplacements to actually cover it. American. And there went the headset off my head. My apologies, but the Americans really need to move in swiftly to deal with this. And they are firing away with some artillery, forcing the Grenadiers in the center to run away. Tank depot going up. This is good, although rather late, I feel. Let's return to Callplu. It certainly has the manpower and fuel for some Shermans. Veterans 1 up for the tanks. Not sure what he was hoping to hit. Riflemen and Grenadiers advancing, some with Veterans 2, some not. One with Veterans 3. Quite a bit of fire being subject to that rifleman who just seemed to be charging in without cover or tactics. Grenade being flung at the Grenadiers. Doing quite a bit of damage there. Rangers joining in the fun. Huge all-out assault rifleman team though getting blasted to bits by the Ostwind. Others getting suppressed. Although why the more veteran teams weren't being used to the front is beyond me. And there we go, Panzerschrecks flying at the Ostwind. Perhaps a few sticky bombs would be good as well. There we go. Although nothing from the Veterans 3 team. There we go. Ostwind getting covered in sticky bombs. These riflemen need to retreat. Oh dear, another rifleman team lost, but the Ostwind goes down. Small victory right there. Rifleman holding the rest of the force at bay. Still, he could be using a lot more with his resources. In fact, doing a lot more, but he's not. Which is rather bothering me, and probably couldn't even be able to call in an off-map combat group by now. And riflemen inside there need to get out of there. They can't take much more fire. Bazooka rounds flying, rockets flying at the Panzer IV, which is slowly pulling out of there. But rather an infantry slugfest for most of the fight until now. Grenadiers, no, apparently not. More Rangers getting into the building. Oh dear, he's clumping them up. And the building is almost ready to collapse. Get out of there. And rather realizing it, Rangers retreating. Still absolutely no armor. This is bad. Perhaps some artillery going in. Yes, indeed.
Enemy unit.
And there we go. Something was lost. Probably a pioneer team. Oh dear. A Grenadier team was also blown to the next realm. And the Panzer IV advances, although the tank traps are actually doing quite well since there's absolutely no sign of Panthers as of yet. Just rather limiting its scope of movement. Will there be a sticky bomb on the Panzer IV or something else? And I do believe, yes indeed, we are seeing a tank destroyer on the way. But those Rangers and Riflemen need to move in and knock out that Panzer IV, at least do something about it. And these Riflemen need to retreat. He's much too slow in retreating in these sort of situations. That certainly managed to level the playing field at least a bit. German forces having suffered quite heavily there with that good artillery shot by the machine gun emplacement. And why are they moving in from the front? Oh dear, he seems to be losing some of his experiences right there. charging ahead from the front. You don't want to be charging like that. Bazooka rockets flying at the Panzer IV. Ostwind might get sticky bombed by the veterans with 3 riflemen. Tank destroyer arriving on the field, but will it move in enough quickly? Oh dear, the Ranger team was lost. Sticky bomb though goes off on the Ostwind.
200 points.
There we go, damaged engine on the Ostwind. Oh my goodness, almost losing the veterans with 3 rifleman team. And he's certainly been losing quite a lot there again due to sort of unfortunate unit preservation all of a sudden. This is very tragic. But the Ostwind holding the line. The Ostwind actually didn't make it towards Normandy, I do believe. The biggest they had in flak panzers was the Möbelwagen and the Part. Artillery going in here, and the tank destroyer moving in from the front. And there we go, medic bunker finally knocked out. Tank destroyer might be able to get a kill on this Panzer IV. No, apparently the Pioneers seem to be able to. And the Rangers are charging in from the front again. Why is he doing that? Why isn't he moving in from here and getting some good rear shots off? And artillery going off, destroying the main gun on the Panzer IV. Pack moving in, and artillery being called in on this position. All a mess. Tank destroyers lost, riflemen, Rangers all dying in a huge mess. This is not good for the Americans at all. Rather, it seems to be that he has a good, decent strategy for the start, perhaps the mid, but then it all sort of falls apart when he suddenly realizes he's not sure what to do. Which is clearly a massive issue for him. Whereas Mr. NKM certainly seems to have a better idea of what to do. So that is quite unfortunate.
Battery commander here.
Another tank destroyer on the way. But I certainly think that one of Callplu's major problems was he was rather too heavily stuck in the sort of infantry only. He didn't even bother getting, say, a mortar, which could have helped a bit at least, or a heavy machine gun. Just sort of more infantry, nothing else. And while the howitzers are certainly able to equalize things a bit, the tanks are rather ruining that for him. Another tank destroyer arriving. Ostwind opening up on these riflemen, who are rather exposed up there in the open.
More men for the Rangers.
All a bit curious at the moment. And once more the medic station is awfully exposed, but they hit a mine as usual, it seems. Sniper sneaking about here. German advances certainly stopped through the east due to heavy tank traps, but at the same time the American armor can't break through there as well. Looks like the Americans are preparing for a huge assault. The where and when is the question. Panzer IV opening up on the machine gun replacement once more. And everyone is getting suppressed by the MG42 nearby. Bazooka rockets flying at the Panzer IV. Tank destroyer moving in. Artillery moving in, knocking out the MG42. Good shot right there. Now more artillery being called in on the German armor. Repair bunker is up actually. But the mechanics are knocked out by artillery strikes. And he might actually end up knocking out his own tank traps if he's not too careful with that artillery. Which of course would open things up for the German armor, although then again, all NKM needs to do is get a Panther and then crush his way through it. Another machine gun emplacement going up. German infantry making ready for something in the east. Another machine gun emplacement, this time a bit farther away from the tank traps. So tanks can't so easily get to it, and German Grenadiers once more counter-attacking. Once more quickly getting stopped by an MG42 set up right there, actually, rather interestingly. We've all forgotten about that. Now these Grenadiers are getting absolutely slaughtered. But The Americans are rather on the back foot. MG42 once more up, gunning away down these riflemen. Veteran 1 doing its usual nasty bits, and once more artillery strike going in. And once more clearing out the MG42. Riflemen are advancing, once more securing the central victory point. German armor could probably making a larger assault right through the middle here, and artillery being called in. Defensive registered. Almost all the riflemen are getting out there. Oh dear, losing one team. He can't really afford it at this stage. Another tank destroyer, but no Shermans. And there we go. Panzer Force and Ostwind's charging right in. And camouflaged ambush strike from the Hellcat, but it misses. And they're just all opening up on the Hellcats. The Hellcats doing the best. Rangers moving in. Only one bazooka left though. Artillery being called in on this clump of Panzers. Hellcat destroyed. Panzer 4 knocked out. Ostwind also out. There we go. But the Rangers got hit by their own artillery. Oh dear. And Pax joining in as well. Looks like this Hellcat will be knocked out. There we go. Panzer 4 is still holding the line. Firing away now. It's Veteran 2 with a gunner, although he won't do much. Fear. Riflemen charging in, perhaps hoping to knock out that pack, but instead they're exposing themselves to Panzer 4 fire. Somehow they dodge it due to their veterancy, but the pack gets hunted down. Oh dear. He still could have been calling in an off-map combat group a lot earlier, but sadly he doesn't seem to have done that. Sticky bombs going off. Riflemen getting crushed beneath the treads of the Panzer 4. Damaged engine down to half health. German assault once more sending in. Infantry once more running in without much support. At least now there's a Panzer 4 nearby though. Return to NKM. Machine gun emplacement getting repaired. Motor pool going up for the Americans. Ostwind getting sent in. Still no Panthers to actually try and break through all those tank traps. Actually rather interesting to note. Artillery being summoned in somewhere. Right here apparently. Hoping to end that repair bunker. I feel that might have been a bit off. And now this medic station is coming under fire. But the MG42 opens up on all of these German forces. Apparently they are not suppressed right away. Huh, quite interesting. But riflemen are charging, adding into the fire. There we go, all running away. Central victory point once more secured by the Americans, but the Ostwind is moving in. Panzer 4 is in dire need of repairs. Engine is on fire. Ostwind hammering away at the machine gun emplacement. Anti-tank guns probably on the way. All a bit quiet at the moment. Panzer 4 moving in now that it is repaired. And a Panther. Finally he gets the idea and gets a Panther to break through all of this. Or he could have gotten a Goliath and blown it up. Actually, but he didn't seem to have gone for that either. And there we go. Machine gun emplacement cleared out. Medic station still standing, at least the second one. Engineer sneaking through in the west. Sneaky and bold. Rifleman once more charging in from the front. No idea why he keeps doing that. Sticky bombs going off. Sniper opening up as well. 39 kills. That's certainly not a bad job right there. Americans might in fact hold all 3 victory points, although for how long? And the Panther is ready. And these riflemen need to get out of there. They're too... Oh dear. That was an infantry team lost. Again, he can't really afford it at this stage. Artillery moving in at the suspected position of the Panzers. awfully close to all those pioneers repairing, but the wreck building right there absorbed it all. Artillery being called in right there. Oh dear, Grenadiers and sniper moving out. Tanks supporting. And how shall all this end? Engineers killed. And a bit of quiet there once more. Medic station knocked out. And artillery being called in right there on the American strong point that is actually left. Anti-tank gun cleared out by it apparently, or was it just the Ostwind? Apparently it actually didn't do much, interestingly enough. And certainly looks over for the Americans despite their best efforts. The lack of armor, the lack of support weapons, the lack of sort of moving beyond riflemen. Much earlier stage has rather failed them and bitten them in the arse. As tanks continue to fire away, most of the American infantry forces have been lost. Only a few very veteran teams are left, and apparently some of them are splitting up to take on the anti-tank gun. Sticky bombs flying at the Panzer IV. Everything that can be thrown at it is being thrown. Anti-tank gun cleared out. In fact, wrecked. No armored skirts though for the Panthers though. That could actually have helped a bit against those sticky bombs. And now more sticky bombs being thrown. MG42 cleared out from that old building. Panzer IV is still there. Engine destroyed, tracks blown away. But the main gun and the gunner is still there. And let us speed things up a bit. What is the situation? Will the 25th somehow manage something? Oh, but I don't think so. There we go, armor veterans 3. Armored skirts on the armor. Also the Panther as well actually. Right there on the tracks. And pioneers repairing the Panzer IV have been killed. The Panzer IV is still stuck out there. Looking very lonely and sad and abandoned. Although it managed just to take its frustrations out on the rifleman right there. Anti-tank gun cleared out. And a GG M8. Apparently that seems to have been a bit of a miscalculation, I'd say. Rifleman moving in for the Western victory point. I can't help but fear this game is over. Let us just speed things up. Although barely any victory points left. Still, artillery now being called in to protect this western one. And the American base is slowly getting dismantled. And there we go. Game over. The Americans do retreat. The 706th hold the lines with a bit of support from the 2nd Panzer Division. Well, not certainly the most high-level game, but it did certainly have some interesting bits, like, so, for example, lots of mines, which was actually quite good. Interesting usage of tank traps, which you rarely see, actually. And we did see some good infantry usage, but trouble was, he never moved beyond it, which was really his main problem. That at some rather unfortunate junctures, he was floating quite a bit of resources. Which was rather his main problem. NKM's main problem was he wasn't bothering to get minesweepers, and he could certainly have been a bit more aggressive here in the east. And certainly there could have been a bit more aggression also from the Americans right there as well. So perhaps some support weapons, but that was really the main problem. He didn't again move beyond riflemen. He got stuck in it too much. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.